Today is Monday, June 21st. We're going to continue talking about our spreadsheet. Now, if you recall, we had several different tabs on this spreadsheet. We went over them very briefly in the last video. We had your current budget, we had your balance sheet, we had your debts, and then something I just like to put at the end, discounting, to help people calculate present value and future value. We'll talk about that later on. Today, we're just going to focus on this tab, debts. When I do volunteer financial counseling for people, I find the most common problem is people don't know how much money they owe and to whom. The first step in getting a handle on your finances is understanding to whom do I owe money, how much, what interest am I paying, etc. Honestly, most people have never, ever looked at this. You just kind of get bills. Maybe you got a Visa card, you get a bill, you pay it. You get a Discover card, you pay it. Maybe another bill comes in from Target or something like that, and you pay the minimum or a bit more. But if you don't sit down and go through everything, it's going to be very tough to improve your situation. So I'm fortunate. We have a couple friends who shared their info. So some of this info is mine, some of it's from friends, and we're just going to go through it all and look and see what there is and how to put it into the spreadsheet. So what we're going to do, we'll look at this first one here. This is a loan. Now I've tried to block out all the account info. This is from 2005. This tells you who the loan servicer is, but here's what we care about right now. The loan amount, $49.33, and the interest rate of 3.5%. So let's pop that over here. So we're going to say ED Financial. Well, this is a school loan, 4933, 3.5%. Now, of course, they couldn't make all this stuff simple, so you can't have the minimum. Well, I mean, you could have the minimum payment on there, but they don't. I think it's about $225 a month. So we're going to put that in there. Credit available is generally how much more can you borrow? Now, this is done holistically for you as an individual, and you can see that if you go and create an account on something like Credit Karma or Experian or something like that. But often with each individual line item, especially credit cards, they will tell you how much more you can borrow. We'll look at that later on when we do the credit cards, but right now we're just going to put this school loan in. Okay, we'll say this is all mine. I owe $49.33, $225 a month is my payment, and my interest rate is 3.5. Now, let's go and look at some more stuff. And pardon me, we have to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now, this is a credit card balance. The person owes $14,185 and change. The minimum payment is $283. And of course, if you want more info, you have to keep clicking through. In an ideal world, everything would be all there together at once, but you know, it doesn't always work like that in life, does it? So let's go and pop this onto our spreadsheet. Now, what did we owe? Let's look here. We will say this is an American Express card. $14,185 is how much is owed. The minimum payment, we'll call it $284. The interest rate, we don't know that yet. How do we find out? Well, we have to go and look at more tabs. So pardon me, I've got about 1,000 windows open here. We're going to look at this. And where is that? There we go. So this is that same card. Now this currently introductory purchase rate expires. So it's currently at 0%. So there is no interest being charged on this balance of 14,000 and change that's owed. You can see here, July 18th, next month, it goes to 13%. Now, if you want more info, and you'll see on the other credit cards, you might have to click through again to see how much interest you're going to be paying. But right now we can see, okay, this person owes $14,000 and change on this credit card. Their current APR is 0%, but then as of July, it goes up to 13%. So what I would do if this were my card, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, who knows? But if this were my card, what I would do is set an alarm in my calendar and say, okay, July 1st, hey, I have to pay this off in full or move it to another card, or basically do something to forego paying 13% interest. Now you can see all other purchases going forward are going to be charged 13%. Cash advances, when you go to an ATM or whatever and just take cash out, whap, 25%. That's huge. This is the case across most cards. Cash advances are generally very high and rarely make sense. So let's go, we'll put that back into our sheet. So we're going to go here and boom, 0%. Now, we didn't see anything there that showed the remaining credit. So let's go and, of course, look through. We have to click again on the same card. Now, this is that card, 14,000 and change owed. I think there's a payment made recently. Credit limit is $25,000 on this card. 14,000 of it is being used. So there's just under 11,000 left. So let's go and put that in. Credit available, we're going to put 10,800. Or what we can do is say 25,000 less whatever that number is. And that way, as we pay this balance down, or as we increase it, that will adjust. So we have an idea what our credit limit is when we go down here and see, okay, right now, according to what we've entered so far, we have $10,800 of available credit. So let's go and look at another card. And again, these are just cards that people have sent me. I hope to God I've deleted all of the identifying information on there. Otherwise, I'm going to look like a complete fool, but that's the way it goes. Now, this is a different card. This is a Visa card, and there's a balance here, $82.83. Minimum payment is only $82, right? That's very, very low considering you owe $8,000 and change. Let's look here. If you make no additional charges using this card, okay, so if you do not spend on this card again, and if you pay the balance shown on this statement, $82 right there, you will pay it off in 19 years, and you will pay a total of $18,000. So whatever you spent $8,000 on will actually cost you $18,000, and you will be paying that off for 20 years. So if you were to pay it off right now in full, you pay $8,200 and change. If you just pay the minimum, you pay an extra basically $10,000. That is the interest. That is the cost of using some period. Now they give you another scenario. Hey, if instead of paying $82, which is this row here, what if instead you paid $292 every month? Well, then you'd only pay the money for you'd only pay for 3 years, and then the debt would be paid off. And the total amount you pay, the principal, $82.83, plus the interest, would only be $10,497. That's a savings of $7,500. And you're debt-free, at least in terms of this card, in 3 years as opposed to 19 years. So let's pop this into our spreadsheet. And we're going to call this a Visa card, credit card. What was the balance here? 8283. Minimum payment, 82. And the interest rate, of course, it doesn't say that. So we have to go to another sheet. This is one of my 10 million criticisms of our current system is it's designed to be confusing. It's designed to have many steps. So right now, purchases are being charged 16% interest. That's what this was. This was a purchase. If you were to take out a cash advance, just like the other one, 25%. If you do balance transfers, 16%. So we're going to put in 16% as the interest rate. And it says a variable rate, so that can change. So if the Federal Reserve raises rates a quarter point, this probably goes to 20%. Why? Don't get me started on that. But we'll go and we'll put 16% in here. Now, this one does not show your available credit. It's probably there somewhere. I did not see it on the data I was given, so I don't know what it is off the top of my head. The last thing, I don't want to make this video too long, but I will share something from the previous screen. Late payment warning. If you miss your payment, you have to pay a $40 late fee and your APR jumps to 30%. So right now, if you remember, you're paying 16%. If you miss one payment, you pay $40 and your APR almost doubles, right? And if you were to look at the math on that, we can do that some other time. I want to keep this video short and we'll do some more in the next video. But let's go back to where we are right now. So right now, we have a Visa, $8,200 with an $82 monthly payment. Amex, $14,000 owed, $284 payment. And the Amex is at 0%. The Visa is at 16%. We saw that we have a credit available on our Amex of 10,000 and change. We don't know what it is on the Visa. There will be a number for that. And it's somewhere. It's just on something I haven't seen. And then we have our student loan here. So right now, we owe $27,401, and we have monthly payments minimum of $600. That's pretty small, that's $600. So what we're going to do in the next video is we'll chuck a few more things in here, and then we'll start analyzing stuff. So that's probably good for now. I probably went way over time, but I think this is good. Please give me your comments, and we will think about this. Thank you very much. Please put your comments below, any questions you have or any concerns, or if you're trying to do this on your own, any issues you may have run into. Don't forget to subscribe to my Instagram and YouTube channels, and I'll be teaching at El Camino this summer, personal finance, and then in the fall back to both Santa Monica and El Camino. Thank you very much.